Welcome back to the Now Morning Show. So we're kicking off this Friday edition talking about the 2024 NGC Bocas Lit Fest. It's taking place from April 25th to 28th. And joining us in studio is Alette Liz Williams, Marketing and Media Manager for Bocas Lit Fest. Good morning, Alette, and welcome.
Good morning. Lovely to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you with us on the show. So let's get straight into the Lit Fest because, I mean, this is something that is a mainstay for everything, I think, creative, every possible creative rather, I should say. So let's get into the history of the festival itself.
Well, this is the 14th year of this annual literary festival. We like to think it's the most, the richest intellectual event in the Anglophone Caribbean. This is the first year that also we're having so many high-profile, internationally acclaimed authors, performers, and writers. So the Bocas Lit Fest was an idea that started in a living room, you know, trying to reach out there, hear more Caribbean voices, give them a space to be told, give them a space to be heard, and for that wonderful interaction to happen. And now we are touching the world. So we just want to make sure that people come out and understand that this year in particular, we're having 150. It's the most ever participants we've had in over 80 events in the National Library and satellite events in and around Port of Spain. So it's quite a build-up over the 14 years, and we're just expecting greater things as we go along.
I mean, with everything that you just mentioned, I have so many questions. But my first question to ask is, what is a satellite event?
Satellite events, okay, great. So one of them is, we have Kaiso, that's going to happen on the Thursday night. It's usually where we have a back chat, so members of the LGBTQ community can come there and see very lively performances, spirited, all steeped in some level of literature, poetry, and oral expression, and other types of expression. On the Friday night, we celebrate Dion Brandt, because she's a big deal, really big deal. The 25th anniversary of her book, At the Full and Change of the Moon, at the Big Black Box. And don't tell anyone I said, but Tricanal will be performing. So if you miss them for Carnival, this is your opportunity to see them for free.
Wow.
Just say it. So, yeah, you can come to that as well. And of course, on the last night of the festival, we have the First Citizens National Poetry Slam Grand Slam final at Queen's Hall.
Hold on, I just had to breathe for a short second there because there's so much information packed in. I mean, 150 authors, different events taking place, guest performances. We're not going to say that you said, but we heard it here first on the Now Morning Show, and so much more, which leads me to the fact that one of the things that this shows is that any and everybody can be a part of this.
Yes.
Let's talk about accessibility when it comes to the Lit Fest.
So we've, and this was something that was actually pioneered by our children's program manager, although it was on all of our minds, and it's going to be especially steeped in the Children's Festival, where we know the National Library is wheelchair accessible, but we'll also have Trinidad and Tobago sign language interpreters. We'll have translators for different languages for children's event, mostly Spanish, because we'll engage that community as well. And we're also preparing spaces for people who are neurodivergent. We have a comfort zone in this space. So we're trying to expand that level of there's something for everyone, so we want everyone to be able to come to the festival.
I just had to pause for a moment, especially when you mentioned the inclusivity and neurodivergence as well. That's something that's so important because many times you tend, well, not you, but in general, we tend to just sort of shift that aside unless it's perhaps trending and so much more. So it's wonderful to see that the entire team has come together to say, all right, we're going to have inclusion in all forms or fashion. Now, you mentioned these series of events that are taking place, but what time do these events take place? From Thursday, because we're starting off with Thursday with satellites.
Yeah. Thursday, the Children's Festival will actually kick off the entire festival, so that day is totally dedicated to them, and so it's going to be in City Hall.
Okay.
Right, so where that happens, you know, all the babies are going to be all over the place, and then we come over to the National Library, where we'll continue with the Children's Festival, but we also have something for youth on Fantastic Friday, where we're going into science fiction and speculative world building and all of these things. And so we also have a day on Sunday that's black light void where people can see art and will be encouraged to write and draw and make collages based on the images that they see. There is something for everyone. So if you're an art lover, if you're into film and want to go into science fiction, Fantastic Fridays workshop is absolutely awesome to be a part of. And so once you go on the website and you see the program, you'll see how many different things we have in place for everyone.
Wonderful. bocaslitfest.com, that's the website that you need to go to. Now, what about fees? Are there any registration fees attached to these events?
The workshops and our all mass competitions are the only. Yes. Oh,
Every
yes.
time
I didn't mention. I know, right? There's
new.
so much there. So the all mass competition will actually be on quarreling with history. So it's supposed to be sort of Protestant and very dramatic, very expressive. So that will have a registration fee and our workshops as well. Nominal at most $58 to enter for individuals for the all mass, 100 for groups, and our workshops are 100. Those are the only events in the entire festival that are paid, and it's just a nominal fee.
It is a nominal fee for sure. So when is the all mass competition?
You can check it on Saturday. So it will be on the wing of the library that's closer to Hart Street.
There we go.
Thanks. You know the things. So yes, it will be in the afternoon.
And this is incredible. I mean, it also sounds like you have some pretty long days ahead of you, you and the team as well.
Yes.
How does it feel to see the festival really flourish? I mean, in the beginning, you spoke about the fact this started in the living room, and now 14 years later, here we are, surviving COVID-19 on top of everything else. How does it feel to sit here and know that you're working on what is one of the premier events in the Caribbean?
It's an extreme honor. I mean, all honor to Dr. Marina Salandi Brown. It was her brainchild, and she got together such a wonderful and very experienced and very visionary group that would have brought us where we are right now. So we have so many wonderful partnerships. Of course, we have our title sponsor, NGC, the National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago Limited. I mean, they make it happen. They have been with us since the inception, funding our dream, being involved in our dream, and of course, you know, so many other partners that just make sure that they stay with us. All of our participants who still come and do this for us to give it to everyone for free, but you know, it's one of those labors of love that we won't stop because we are intent on finding new voices throughout the Caribbean and making sure that the world has access to these voices.
That is something that is so important. And just going back again to the beginning of the conversation, 150 authors. One can only imagine, even I would say, the challenge of having to go through all these different submissions and be able to choose, because I'm sure it must be really, really hard as well. But let's go to which wouldn't have been a challenge, Dion Brand being chosen, and the dramatic readings that we would have spoken of, Offset. Can you just give us a little bit as to what's going to happen?
So, Elisha Bartels from you know the name, don't you? So Dion's book, performers are going to be taking excerpts from the book, parts of the book, and reading them, but they're doing a different way of expressing it. We're all excited to see how she does that. And then Dion will be coming and reading the end of the book, and then we'll have, you know, that wonderful close off, and then Three Canal will come and perform. So it's for everyone to see. Even we are excited to see what that's like. But I want to also add that she's not the only really high profile person.
Yes.
Gitanjali Shree, coming from India. She would have won the International Booker Prize. That's a very big prize. And she wrote her book in native tongue Hindi, and it was translated. The only of its kind to win that prize. We have Karen Lord, we have the OCM Book Prize Chief Judge Edwidge Danticard from Haiti. And she is also such a marvel. Her books have so many of them have won awards, been on Oprah's book club. So I mean, if you didn't think we have film, we have music, we have this usual stand and deliver. If I give you anything more, I'll be overwhelming you. It's just, and I'm sure I've already done that. It's just for everyone to go online, check out the program, and come out to the festival.
Definitely go online, come out to the festival. I'm hoping that I can fit everything in because it looks like it's going to be so amazing. Alette, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
All the best to you and the team. And I know we're going to have you back on the show soon to talk about what more is to come with Bocas Lit Fest.
Yes, of course.
Excellent. This is Alette Liz Williams speaking to us about Bocas Lit Fest happening April 25th to 28th. You don't want to miss it. Go to their website, check it out. There is something for everybody because remember, books are one of the best things in the world. We'll be back after this break as we continue to have some enlightening conversations.